Have you ever reached the end of a day and wondered how you could possibly feel so exhausted when, on paper, almost nothing happened? You did not spend hours lifting heavy objects. You did not run a marathon. You did not survive an impossible schedule. Most of your day may have been spent sitting, answering messages, switching between tabs, checking your phone, attending meetings, or thinking about everything you still had left to do. Yet by evening, even making dinner or answering one more text feels like too much. That experience can be confusing. It often invites harsh self-judgment. People tell themselves they are lazy, unmotivated, or simply not disciplined enough. Others look at them and quietly wonder the same thing. But what if exhaustion is not always a measure of physical effort? What if the body has been working all day in ways that never appear on a calendar or a fitness tracker? Today, we are exploring a kind of fatigue that rarely leaves visible evidence. It does not come from carrying heavy boxes. It comes from carrying invisible weight. Most of us learn to measure effort by what we can see. Someone who spends 8 hours digging a trench deserves to feel tired. Someone who finishes a demanding workout deserves to feel tired. A nurse after a long shift, a construction worker after a day on site, or a parent chasing young children all have obvious reasons to feel exhausted. But the human body has never separated physical work from mental work as neatly as we do. Your nervous system, preparing for danger, solving uncertainty, suppressing emotion, and constantly staying alert all require energy. The body spends that energy whether anyone notices or not. Think about the last time you were waiting for an important phone call. Maybe it was about a medical result. Maybe it was a job interview. Maybe someone you cared about had not answered your messages 4 hours. Nothing dramatic was happening in the room around you. Yet relaxing probably felt impossible. Your attention kept drifting back to the phone. Your thoughts replayed different possibilities. Every vibration pulled your focus. By the time the waiting was over, you may have felt surprisingly drained. The waiting itself became work. That is because the brain is never truly resting when it believes something important could happen at any moment. Instead, it stays prepared. Prepared brains consume energy. This is one reason modern life can leave people exhausted in ways previous generations might not immediately recognize. Today's threats are rarely lions or storms. Instead, they arrive as uncertainty, unread emails, unexpected bills, news alerts, difficult conversations, deadlines that never seem finished, a calendar filled with responsibilities that continue tomorrow. Each one may seem small on its own. Together, they ask the nervous system to remain partially switched on throughout the day. Imagine trying to hold a glass of water with your arms stretched straight in front of you. The glass is light. For the first minute, it feels effortless. After 10 minutes, your muscles begin complaining. After an hour, the glass has not become heavier. You have simply spent too long holding it. Stress often works the same way. Many people are not crushed by one enormous problem. They are slowly worn down by hundreds of tiny moments that never fully allow them to relax. The difficult part is that this process becomes familiar. After enough months or years, the body can mistake constant tension for normal life. Someone may wake up already feeling behind before the day has even started, not because anything bad has happened, because their nervous system never completely clocked out the night before. Some people describe this as feeling tired but wired. Their body is exhausted. Their mind refuses to stop. They want rest, yet genuine rest feels strangely out of reach. That is because rest is more than lying still. Real rest requires the nervous system to believe it is safe enough to lower its guard. Without that sense of safety, the body may remain alert even while sitting on a comfortable couch. This explains why two people can spend the same afternoon doing almost identical activities, but experience completely different levels of fatigue. One person finishes the day feeling refreshed. The other feels emotionally flattened. The difference is often not the schedule. It is the internal experience of living through that schedule. Some people move through life carrying an invisible question. What am I forgetting? Others carry, what if something goes wrong? Or, what does everyone expect from me? These questions rarely announce themselves out loud. They simply run quietly in the background, hour after hour, consuming attention like dozens of apps draining a phone battery. Eventually, the battery runs empty. Then people blame themselves for having low energy. Many never realize that most of their energy has disappeared long before lunchtime. This pattern often begins earlier than people realize. Children naturally learn how safe the world feels by watching the adults around them. If home was calm, predictable, and emotionally secure, the nervous system usually learns that it can relax when nothing is wrong. But if life was unpredictable, if emotions changed suddenly, conflict appeared without warning, or stability disappeared overnight, the brain learns a different lesson. Stay ready. Pay attention. Do not miss the signs. Those habits can remain long after circumstances improve. The person grows up. Their surroundings change. Their nervous system continues following yesterday's instructions. This is not a wokeness. It is an adaptation. The body remembers what once helped it survive. For others, the pattern develops much later, years spent in high-pressure jobs, relationships where every conversation felt unpredictable, caregiving responsibilities that left little room to think about personal needs, financial uncertainty that stretched on for years. Each experience quietly teaches the nervous system that relaxing carries risk. Eventually, constant alertness begins to feel safer than peace itself. Perhaps the strangest part is how invisible this can be. Someone may smile during conversations, meet deadlines, respond politely, appear calm. Inside, however, they may be monitoring everything. Every facial expression, every shift in someone's voice, every mistake they hope nobody noticed, every possibility they are trying to prevent before it happens. None of this appears on a resume. None of it shows up on a smartwatch. Yet it demands energy every single day. This is why encouraging someone to just try harder can miss the real issue. Trying harder is often exactly what exhausted people have been doing all along. They have simply been directing that effort towards surviving the day instead of producing visible results. Fortunately, the nervous system is remarkably adaptable. Just as it can learn vigilance, it can also learn safety. Usually, not through dramatic life changes, through repeated ordinary experiences. A conversation where no explanation is required, an afternoon without rushing, a relationship where mistakes are not treated as disasters, a walk taken without checking the phone every few minutes. Moments that quietly tell the body, you do not have to stay prepared right now. These moments may seem insignificant. The nervous system often experiences them as evidence that the world is not demanding constant defense. Over time, those moments accumulate. Just as stress can build gradually, so can recovery. If someone close to you seems exhausted in ways that do not make sense, resist the urge to measure their struggle only by what you can see. You may be witnessing the end of a day that required far more internal effort and outward activity. Sometimes the greatest gift is not another solution. It is making someone feel understood. A simple sentence can accomplish more than a long lecture. I do not need you to prove you are tired. I believe you. For many people, hearing those words removes a burden they have carried for years. And if this story feels familiar, remember something important. Your body is not competing against anyone else's energy. It is responding to its own history, its own experiences, and its own perception of safety. That does not mean exhaustion must define your future. It means understanding yourself is a better place to begin than criticizing yourself. Because healing rarely starts with asking, why cannot I keep up? It begins with asking, what has my body been trying to protect me from? Sometimes the answer changes everything. This is simply human. If today's conversation helped you see yourself or someone you love with a little more understanding, consider subscribing. Every week, we explore the hidden patterns of the mind, emotions, and everyday life that quietly shape who we become. Until next time, remember this. The body is not a machine that only spends energy through movement. Sometimes, the hardest work is invisible. And the quietest battles often leave the deepest fatigue.